Hey everybody, I'm out in New York City right now taking a look at the new Infiniti QX60. This is an all-new Infiniti model. On the outside you can see that it's much more upright and much boxier than the previous generation QX60. Just about nothing is shared with the outgoing model. The engine under the hood is pretty similar, but there's a new 9-speed automatic transmission. So if you weren't keen on the idea of a luxury 3-row vehicle with a CVT, don't worry, we have a 9-speed automatic transmission on tap with available all-wheel drive. You'll also notice that the design is much boxier than before, much more upright on the front end, and then really sleek and sexy as we go towards the rear. And the rear end of the QX60 looks definitely very concept car. I love the fact that Infiniti decided to keep this looking very similar to the concept QX60 rather than really adapting it drastically for production like we see in so many vehicles out there. On the inside, the QX80 gets an all-new seat design. You can see the new seat controls right over here. We have 4-way lumbar support, and we have this little button right here because available seat massage is now a feature on the QX80. The new seat design looks a lot like what we found in the QX55 and QX50, but it definitely feels more luxurious. And you'll notice that over here on the passenger side, we also have seat memory buttons for the front passenger. There's real wood trim all across the dashboard, and then we have a definite different design right here for the dashboard. This feels a lot more modern than the existing QX60, and we have a large touchscreen infotainment system right here in the middle of the dash. The very upper section of the dashboard is a soft touch injection molded dashboard. We then have quilted leather across the dashboard and across the seats. This really gives this a very elegant look, and I have to give Infiniti a lot of credit for giving us a really unique design here. Rather than giving us traditional quilting, they actually have given us these little sort of points here. So this is more of an hourglass style design running right there across the dashboard. There's a strong horizontal line there, big horizontal air vents right there, the controls for the tri-zone automatic climate control in the middle, lots of different touch controls right there with haptic feedback. We even have the ionization system right here in the system that you've seen in other Infiniti models. Engine start-stop button right there. Quite a unique shifter right here. This is a joystick-style shifter, but it's quite long compared to some of Infiniti's shifters from the past. There's a P-Park button right there. We have a Qi wireless charging mat, 2 large cup holders there, and the same sort of infotainment controller that we've seen in other Infinitis. You have the choice of either using this or touching the screen. That's up to you. Right here we have a large center armrest, lots of storage area right there in the middle. And then we have a large full-color instrument cluster right there in front of the driver. There's also a heads-up display just above that, but that's a little bit difficult to film right in here. This has very similar views to what we've seen in other Infiniti products and Nissan products that have this same sort of instrument cluster. You see those 2 basic views right there. Moving out from there, we have a new steering wheel design for Infiniti, large sport grips up top. It's a 3-spoke design with paddle shifters on the back. Moving back to the rear seats, you'll notice that we have a very similar seat design to what we find in the Nissan Pathfinder. This means that this is going to be one of the most family-friendly vehicles in the luxury segment. You can keep a child seat latch anchored into place in that second row position and still tilt and slide the seat forward to get easier access to the third row. We also have a center console right here between the 2 center seats that is removable. Now, one big difference between this and its Nissan brethren is that we don't have a center seat belt right back there in that third row seat. That's because the third row seat area is actually a little bit narrower than the Pathfinder, and that all has to do with the sexier exterior design. So as we go around, you'll notice that the rear end pinches in an awful lot more, and then if I open this hatch, the entire third row rear seat area is narrower than we find in the Pathfinder. So you cannot fit 4x sheet goods right back here in the rear of the QX60. If you want to do that, you're going to have to get the Nissan. But if you want something that's a bit more luxurious and a little bit roomier, obviously back here in the third row, that's going to be this vehicle. Scooting in there, you can see that back there in the third row, we have a small storage area there, 2 buckles for the seat belts, and then some soft touch materials around the sides. But as with most 3-row vehicles, it's going to be fairly hard plastic back here for durability reasons. There's a lot of legroom and definitely a lot of headroom going on here. And of course, a decent amount of cargo room as well. If we lift up this load floor, there's enough space right here for you to put that removable center console from the second row. Another nice touch are partial power third row seats. This is a feature that I like a lot more than I thought I would, because personally, I don't like third row seats that are completely powered. You can put those up and down manually if you want to, or you can press this button right over here on this side and you can power lift that third row back into place. So it's really quick and easy to drop into place, quick and easy to pull back, but if you'd rather just have the car do it for you, you can choose that option and then pop that headrest up yourself. If you want to know more about the Infiniti QX60, I will be driving it next week, and I will be able to tell you all about it in early September. So be sure and stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, be sure and head over to facebook.com/AlexNautos, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and I'll see all of you a little bit later.